This quote says a lot of things. It says that you can be either a leader or a follower. It says that you can grow or stay stagnant. It says that in order to achieve your personal goals, you have to go the extra mile. We often use this phrase, going the extra mile, loosely, but do you know what it truly means? Biblically, it is adapted from a commandment from Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, where he said, "Whosoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him too." Matthew 5:41. Figuratively, it means to do more than is required or needed. And I was having this conversation with one of my best friends, and the other night, and he said, going the extra mile is everything. And he wants to be a Marine, and I support him in every decision that he's ever made. So being a Marine requires you to take that extra step into life, and he wants to further his education after he becomes a Marine. And he just said, "Zaylee, think about it like water. Water has the boiling point of 212 degrees. Zaylee, going the extra mile is like comparing yourself to water. You can be heated at 211 degrees, but 211 degrees, the water has accomplished nothing except being hot. The water is hot and is on the verge of boiling, but it has not gone that extra mile to be at 212 degrees so that it can boil." What he said intrigued me, because I was like, what does that have to do with me? I'm a Gemini, not a Pisces, and water really is not in my area. But once I sat back and thought about it, what he had to say was important. And I realized the water had everything to do with me. The water was me. And I broke it down to myself like this. If the water does not take its time to go the extra mile to boil, all it will be is hot water. Hot water doesn't produce bubbles or water vapor. Hot water doesn't meet the qualifications on some food manufacturers specify on the back of the box. Hot water has no end product, but boiling water does. Boiling water produces those bubbles, produces that water vapor, meets the qualifications so you can make those elbow noodles for your macaroni and cheese that you're going to have at the church, for those collard greens that you're going to boil after church, for those deviled eggs that you eat after church, and to make that 5-minute success rice. That rice was successful because it was boiled, because it went its full potential, and it was the best rice it could be. It's not just the brand name, it was successful because it boiled. The same thing is applicable in life. When it comes to reaching for your boiling point, when you don't listen to your parents and don't do your chores, that is your 211 and not your 212. You have not boiled, and you have not listened to your parents. You have not done what you were supposed to do. When you don't do your assignments and expect A's, that is your 211 and not your 212. When you don't treat others with respect, that is your 211, not your 212. When you let your poor attitude take over you when you are in the midst of people, that is your 211, not your 212. When you have your pants sagging and revealing clothes on, that is your 211 and not your 212. But when you do the opposite of these things, like take pride in what you wear, do what your parents ask you to do your chores and assignments, and make those A's and sometimes B's that you achieve something great. And you have reached your 212. Sometimes you can boil over that 212, and you can get hotter and better and exceed those limitations. My point is when you do more than what's required, you have products, you have results. The product or result doesn't always have to be tangible in nature, but it can be, you can leave somebody feeling a certain way. The late Maya Angelou said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And she has a point. Not just how you made others feel, but how you made yourself feel when you accomplished something. When certain activities or something was completed, you felt good. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. My first week of chemistry, I was expecting to make a C in the class. I was like, chemistry is not my forte. I was not ready for science at all. But the teacher was really cool, really nice. His name was Mr. Green. And Mr. Green did everything in his power to get us to understand honors chemistry. He would literally jump table from table to get us to understand the movement of electrons.
Right.
And because of that, I was engaged in my class and I was enjoying what I was learning, and I gave it my 212 every time I entered that classroom.
Yeah.
After every class, I felt that I had learned something and I actually gained knowledge about the protons and the electrons and the neutrons and Avogadro's number, which is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. I felt good on the inside that I put work into something that I wasn't usually putting work into.
Yeah.
And I was reaching my 212. Sometimes I would boil over and make that A on that test that I was not expecting to make an A on. And sometimes you have to realize that when you're not expecting a 212 and you're expecting a 211, you're always not going to put in your best. But when you are engaged by a person who seeks to see you do that 212, then you might reach that 212 or boil over. Mr. Green was one of those teachers who reached his boiling point and went over. And have you really ever thought about the teachers and the principals and the clergy, that go the extra mile to educate you throughout your daily lives? They go the extra mile to make sure we're going where we're supposed to go. They write lessons, plans, and sermons, and make sure the school agenda is right to make sure you're making the most of your time while you're with them. The same thing with parents. They want to see us reach our 212. They want to see us do things they couldn't do. They want to see us thrive and succeed. That's why they invest so much into what they want to see us do. It's not, but they don't want to just see you reach your boiling point. They want to see you exceed your boiling point. Because when you exceed, you succeed. And in this time we live in, it's not enough to just reach that boiling point. You have to exceed that boiling point. And I would like to challenge all of you today, boys and girls, and people in the congregation, to be everything that you can possibly be. Give it your all. Be at your fullest potential at all times. I don't want you to settle for a 211. I want you to be your 212 or your 213 or your 214 or your 215. Whatever you can do to make yourself better. It's just, I just want you to be that boiling water, and I want you to produce everything possible. I want you to produce everything that you want in life. And I just want you to remember, always reach for your 212. Thank you.
And people of God said,